Hey everyone, and welcome to our network. This is what I call the Magical Miracle Network. My name is Ruth Perkinson, and I'm very excited. We have now about 157 subscribers to our beautiful channel. We have over 5,000 views among about 83 videos. And part of why we're getting this beautiful energy and this beautiful organic upgrade in this channel is we have people like Denise O'Brien coming to us to share her wisdom about A Course in Miracles. And so we have her here again with us today. So, Denise, hello, and thank you for being back with us.
Hi, Ruth. It's really special to be here. Thank you for having me back.
Absolutely. Well, we were just doing a little energy work before we hit the record button, and we feel like we cleared some beautiful energy, some sticky energy, maybe a little bit. It was kind of funny, actually. I wasn't expecting that. But
Hmm.
that's what we're doing on this channel is where we're just trying to share the wisdom, share the energy, share the tips of A Course in Miracles and anything else that comes through. And I'm so excited that we actually did that.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about whatever comes up in your journey. I know you wanted to speak about something directly you talked about a few minutes ago. We'll do that for sure. And we'll
Hmm.
also do the lesson that you've selected. So let's just kind of begin there.
Yeah, great. Well, this is like, there are no coincidences or accidents, I guess. Like I have literally just come out of a storm in the mind and, I'm in the light today again. And Yeah, it just reminded me, of like I've had dark times and we all have, and there was a time where that how I felt, say recently, I was there for months and months, so I'm thankful that, it has passed so quickly. And I was talking to a friend of mine today about coming on here, and she's studying the course now as well. And like I had been so down and so like busy in the world leading up to that, I hadn't picked a passage to read. And she was saying in her group they're doing lesson 244, and she reminded me of how my experience that was having over the last few days is a wonderful example of the core message of this lesson. So thank you to my beautiful friend Gillian, who's doing the course. For reminding me, because sometimes, I can get all up in my head and
Yeah.
overthink everything, and
Yeah, I think that's to your point, that's a very common I think experience a lot of us have as we get real heady and up in, it's kind of like in the I think that it's a great word is like the storm of our life, right?
mm-hmm.
Before you go into the lesson, I'm just getting this idea. Did something like trigger that, or is it okay to talk about that?
Yeah, like I can talk about it because it might be helpful. My thinking had been kind of off, and even though I was away on holiday, and it's actually funny. I mean, it's God has a sense of humor. I was in like Disneyland in Paris, and I was on like roller coasters and eating like candy floss and popcorn. And like the great thing about healing and the work and everything with Course in Miracles is that, thankfully I'm at a stage where I can, for the most part, I can observe it and I don't have to be in it. So I was able to participate. I had a great time, but I knew my thinking was going a bit, like sometimes they say, like in recovery circles, like stinking thinking, I could feel that was happening. And then when I got home, like, after a couple of days, I hit this unmerciful storm, like in my mind. And I was like, to the point like yesterday where I was thinking, maybe I need to go to the doctor and get like an antidepressant or something. Like, and I've nothing against, I think, medication, all forms of magic have their place and their time.
Yeah.
But that would not be like me. I don't normally think like that and I don't get that down. And I was like, okay, it's probably hormonal. I'm at a certain age now and there is all that happening in the body. But
Yeah.
if I am, going to really take the course at its word, then there is no cause in the world, and all that was going on in my mind was a massive fear storm. It was fear, and it was the fear of God. Like we say that in Ireland, like we have a phrase, so you probably say it as well, the fear of God was in me. Like,
Yeah.
we just throw that away willy-nilly, but
Yeah.
like I was terrorized in my body, and it was what triggered it was, I don't actually know what was there one thing, but I got it into my head that I was going to have to walk away from everything in my life, my relationship, my
Yeah.
work, my business, maybe even move away. Like I haven't even said this to my partner because it's
Yeah.
past now, and like he knew there was something going on with me, because I said, look, I'm dealing with something really heavy here, but I'm going to work through it, because, and if I need him, I'll talk to him, but you know, I just, it passed. I went for a body treatment, an energy healing treatment, and I praised Jesus for that woman, because even though I know this is all magic, she laid her hands on me and she was saying, that the tissues are releasing emotions, and I was releasing an awful lot, you know.
Yeah.
She has this beautiful cabin in the woods, and the rain was beating down on the cabin in the woods, and she was doing this healing, and her voice is so soft, and I just felt a presence, like I felt home again in my body. So the mind affected the body, which affected everything, like, and then this helped to calm me, and it shifted before that. But, I think once I realized I was going to look after myself,
Yeah.
go towards the emotion, go towards the feeling, then
Right.
it started to shift.
That's so lovely, Denise. I just wanted to talk about that just for a second. You really looked at it, and I think that's what he's teaching us in A Course in Miracles, is to look at everything that causes a grievance in our world.
Mm.
And it sounds like you were being really honest, like you were telling your partner, knew that you could talk through it with him. And then you were just really looking at it with the Holy Spirit, Jesus, that your higher self, whatever the words are. And
Mhm.
then and that's very important, I feel, is for people to, and then you had that shift, and you had a
Mm.
shift in perception, which is the miracle, and so you had that healing.
Yeah, I did. And it's like, it's like being washed ashore after a storm, like I wanted to kiss the ground today because I'm steady on the ground again, and I feel the love of God. Not that it left me anywhere, but the last 2 days were so heavy. I felt like I was going through sludge, like, or quicksand, my mind, my body, everything.
Yeah.
And in the midst of that, like, I felt lost, so I suppose the message from me is that can and will and still does happen, to all of us, Course in Miracles students or not,
Right.
and I suppose, what do we have? Like, we have a new thought system. We have a new way of looking at the world when we're ready to look at the world differently,
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, and as he says to us in the course, if the resistance is too high, then don't force it.
Yeah.
I just went very gently with myself yesterday. I had an event that I was supposed to be at with work, where there'd be probably a couple of hundred people networking. I cancelled that. I normally I'd go, oh, you can do it, you show up, you put on
Yeah.
your happy face. And I was like, I can't actually do that to myself. I really listened, and I went quiet, 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 quiet.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's so helpful. It's a great tip for everybody watching this video, is to don't force anything, because that's the ego.
Mm,
You're either in the zone of spirit, which is the healing and the helpfulness, or you're in the zone of the ego, which does try to force us, does try to really manipulate and tell us to, and you
yeah.
really take a step back, which is a
Yeah.
very, very great tip for all of us. Take a step back, cancel something if you have to cancel it, go to the energy healer, do all the practical things in the world at this level that are
Mm-hmm.
going to help you stay anchored and centered. And then while you're doing that, what I have learned recently, do it with spirit, do it with, holding the hand of your higher self, as you walk through the world. And that's going to be so helpful. Wow, that's
Yeah.
great information. Um, let's switch in just for a second, just to the lesson. We'll just go for a few more
Yeah.
minutes. Lesson 244.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Jillian. Um,
Yeah.
We'll have to have her on. You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yes, definitely. Lesson 244, which I think is really powerful right now in these times. So I'll let
yeah.
you go ahead and take that away.
Well, thank you. Lesson 244. I am in danger nowhere in the world. Your son is safe wherever he may be. You are there, for you are there with him. He need but call upon your name, and he will recollect his safety and your love, for they are one. How can he fear or doubt or fail to know he cannot suffer, be endangered, or experience unhappiness when he belongs to you, beloved and loving, in the safety of your fatherly embrace? And there we are in truth. No storms can come into the hallowed haven of our home. In God we are secure. For what can come to threaten God himself, or make afraid what will forever be a part of him? Yeah. So I forgot that, in that dark, dark, dark place that I was in, and but it was temporary. The block has been removed. It's like, the the thing that's stuck in my eye has been taken out, today. And but that's the thing with the course, it's like it can come and go at any time. The passion, the torment of this experience that we're having here in this body, so I just felt I wanted to share that today and be honest, about what's
Yeah.
going on and what it's like for me. Yeah.
That's thank you for sharing that because there's so many of us because you're right. That is he talks about the storm there, and that's what you were going through was the storm in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And it threw you off course. And that's the ego, right? Always wanting to throw us off course. And it comes in ways we don't even know it's coming, and it can kind of blindside us. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, we feel like we're wrapped up in this dark cloak of heaviness, and it doesn't feel like we can break free of that.
Yeah.
And I think oftentimes people will get in that place, and I've been there too, and we think there's no way out of here. There's no way out, but there's still light in there. And I think what you did, and you can help me here, is you just really called for help in all the ways that you were calling for help energetically.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah, I was, and I suppose it's been a while since I felt that level of darkness, like, but it has literally felt like something that moved through me and is now gone. And I do believe, like, because I'm a Course in Miracle student, that some part of my mind in that process was healed, and once it's healed, it's never unhealed. And when we heal for everybody, so
yes,
yeah.
let's stay there for 1 second. That's really important for everybody to hear. We'll kind of sort of maybe close out on this note
Sure.
is that once you heal a block, once that whatever the block is, they're all the same. An illusion is an illusion is an illusion, right? They're all the same blocks. And it doesn't feel like that. Some of them feel bigger than others. But once you heal that in the timeline that you're in, it's healed not only for you, but it's healed for the entire world, the entire cosmos of time and space.
Uh-huh.
And so what you did in the last few days and choosing, the miracle, shifting your perception and all the things that you did, not only did it for you, but it did it for me. And anyone watching this video, it
Yeah.
will for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's what we get to do here. We get to share these messages with people, so people don't have to feel alone. So yeah, I'm really glad that you gave me the chance to talk about that, Ruth. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And truly the lesson says I am in danger nowhere in the world. And on
Mm-hmm.
the world of form, it doesn't feel like that, but he's really letting us know that there is nothing to fear and that
Yeah.
only love is real. And I think that's a great message. And I love that lesson. Um,
Mm.
well, before we close out today, I would like to ask you if you have any words of wisdom for new course students, middle of the road course students, old course students who are doing the work, maybe people who haven't even found it.
Yeah.
that might be helpful.
Yeah, I think, from what I've spoken about today is like that there is a way out of suffering, and it's not the way we think. And if you do come across the course, you can feel like the course is taking away everything from you that you have and that you think you need, but to just keep going anyway, everything is not as it seems. And there is light beyond that, like always, so
Absolutely.
that's what I would say.
Well, I love that. And I love your energy. I love it that you're coming from Shannon, Ireland, and that you've, really just, I really enjoy that the idea that you found this network and that you reached out and we're doing these once a month, once every 6 weeks, because your message as a light worker is important for so many to hear. And your journey through A Course in Miracles is so important for all of us to hear. Thank you for canceling out that error in the mind.
Yeah,
That,
you're
yeah,
welcome.
right. That's what we did, because it's about canceling out those thoughts that are the blocks to
Yeah,
the
you
awareness
know,
of presence. Wow.
thank God. Yeah,
Yeah, thank God. Right. Well, it's a new day.
it's
And so what happened yesterday and the last, that buildup is gone for sure.
gone.
It's gone
Hmm.
forever.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. We are waking up from stinking thinking.
Yeah, we are. It was all a dream.
It's all been a dream. It's all been a bad dream. And that's the truth of the matter, everyone, that,
Uh-huh.
that we are waking up from what I call the terrible, awful dream of separation into the happy dream of unity and innocence and love. And as we share the ideas like with Denise, then our minds are strengthened because we are all one and we are all with love. And so, all right, Denise, well, I love you. I'm going to find that stop button. And
Okay, thank you, Ruth. Um,
well,
God bless to everybody, all
yes,
listeners.
we'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon.